Hello, Dr. Jenny. My name is Joshua Janney. I was working in the group project with Katie Peters and Katie Palumbo. The topic we decided to go for was strategies for inclusion within esports and gaming. To start off, representation and diversity in esports leagues. There was a census done. There's been a couple censuses, of course, and a lot of research into the topic, but we found that mostly there was a markedly low amount of female representation within esports leagues. There was a lot of diversity when it comes to sexual orientation as well as ethnicity, but the most marginalized group, it seemed, was females. There's a couple rates found of women involved within major esports titles, done by Darwin and a couple other researchers in 2021. They found that when it comes to a couple of titles, there are markedly low rates. When it comes to CSGO, there's only about 24% of girls or women within the esports leagues. Dota 2, there's only about 20%, and Rainbow Six Siege, there's only about 23%. Alongside this, they found that women only account for roughly 5% of pro gamers, while roughly 50% of women ages 18 through 29 identify as playing video games. So a marked difference there. Some challenges that players face: harassment, verbal and in chats. This can come through toxicity within gaming. Trash talking, including racism, sexism, and homophobic language. Individuals marginalized who do not fit the stereotypical gamer profile, mostly white males. Toxic behaviors in gaming spaces and communities drive out women, non-binary individuals, LGBTQIA+ players, as well as players of color. There's a couple community standards that have been released through different mediums, such as Microsoft's Xbox community standards. This distinguishes trash talk as lighthearted and game-focused, and harassment as personalized and disruptive. This allows for a level of expected negativity into gaming spaces, and I don't think it's necessarily doing as much as it could be to root out this issue. Collegiate interventions. The rapid growth of esports within collegiate spaces presents new opportunities for addressing issues of toxicity as well as fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion. Morgan Romine in 2019 made a couple suggestions when it comes to esports programs, such as performing a diversity audit and creating a plan for inclusion, providing a code of conduct and enforcing it, encouraging co-ed play, establishing non-discriminatory policies, as well as incentivizing and rewarding good and acceptable social leadership. There's also been an inclusion of Children's Esports League. This is structured and supervised gaming leagues to allow children of all ethnicities, genders, and abilities to gain experience at a young age. I think this is incredibly nice and a good thing, because children at that young age get to see inclusion and diversity within gaming and learn proper ways to game and interact with people online. I think this is a great idea. This is utilizing esports coaches, allows for gamesmanship, fair play, collaboration, and a foundation for gamers who strive for diversity and inclusion. One company, Vanta Leagues, is one of the few companies that focuses on children's esports leagues. This includes programs that include games and titles such as Rocket League, Valorant, and League of Legends. When it comes to accessible gaming technology, the goal is to remove barriers that people with disabilities experience when it comes to controllers and gaming consoles. There's a timeline here. In 1986, Nintendo introduced hands-free controller. This is the first mainstream technology available for removing barriers for people with disabilities. In 1990s, closed captioning and audio descriptions became more popular. 2019, PlayStation 3 adds button mapping, first console adding accessibility features. In 2010, Video Communication Act passes. This provides a slight amount of legislation for accessibility guidelines. Continued. In 2011, a Droid controller was released. This is a Switch-based input controller that is mass-produced for people with gaming disabilities. In 2014, Borderlands 2 adds a colorblind mode. In 2016, PlayStation-owned Studio revolutionizes accessibility, as well as Xbox adding options for assistive tech on avatar characters. In 2018, the Microsoft Adaptive Controller was released. That's the EXSC. And in 2020, Able Gamers promotes accessibility at major studios. This allows for developers to create change in the industry when it comes to gaming disabilities. A couple strategies for improved inclusion in esports leagues would be an improved co-ed inclusion and collaboration, the building up of gamers instead of tearing down of teams and players, such as bullying and discriminatory and toxic behavior. The offering of diverse game types in leagues to offer the most inclusion when it comes to either all-girl leagues or leagues in different countries, or pro-ams, just amateur leagues, stuff like that. Of course, providing a code of conduct, as well as formally training organizations, publishers, broadcasters, and athletes for inclusive actions and language. A couple ideas on how to improve community outreach. To facilitate an in-person and online events, this allows for online alternatives to the in-person live events. Number 2, to highlight member content, encourage participation from all parties. Number 3, to empower the community, interactions between players and the public. 4, to create leaderboards. And 5, to make the gaming platform accessible and inclusive. This is our works cited. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.